This podcast contains explicit and politically incorrect content.
Welcome to Tales of a New York limo driver, sex, excess, and stupidity on four wheels, based on the best-selling book by Nikki Testaforty. Come along for over 100 stories that range from idiotic to friggin' unbelievable. Buckle up, kids, and enjoy the ride. Change of clothes. I was driving a stretch when I was dispatched on a wait and return to pick up a VIP at a hotel in Westchester County and take him as directed into Manhattan. As soon as I arrived at the hotel, a Japanese man dressed in a dark business suit, carrying a garment bag and a small piece of luggage the size of a toolbox, came over to the car. I get out and introduce myself, and he says, "Good evening, sir. Nice to meet you. My name is Mr. Uchida. We're going to Union Square in New York City. How can I reach you when I am ready to be picked up? Here's my card. Call me 15 minutes in advance with your location, and I'll be there waiting for you." "Very well. Let's get going," he said as I helped him get his stuff in the car. As we're heading down to NYC, the solid partition and glass that separates the driver and passenger compartments comes up, so I assumed that he wanted some privacy or was making confidential phone calls. When we arrived at Union Square, I came around to open the door, and a gorgeous woman in heels and a slinky dress stepped out, closed the door, and walked away without saying a word. I did a double take, wondering where she came from and where the hell my client was. I looked in the back of the stretch and saw the gentleman's garment bag hanging from a hook, shoes below it, and the luggage on the seat. Now, I never ever do this, but curiosity got the best of me. After parking the tug, I got in the back of the stretch and unzipped the garment bag. Inside was the suit, shirt, and tie that my client wore. I then opened up the case and saw a complete makeup kit. It never ceases to amaze me what you can see on this job. About 3 hours later, Mr. Uchida calls and says, "I'll be ready in 15 minutes and looking for you on the northeast corner of West 4th and Broadway." "No problem, sir," I said. "See you shortly." I pulled up to the corner and right on time, Mr. or Miss Uchida got in the car and we headed back to his or her hotel. When we pulled up in front of the hotel, I got out and opened the door for whoever was going to pop out. The male version came out wearing his suit, thanked me for waiting, and shook my hand. In his palm were two neatly folded $100 bills. The Barracuda. I recently had a wait and return with the mid-40s trophy wife. She wanted to go Christmas shopping up one side of Madison Avenue and down the other side of Fifth Avenue. By the time she was finished, the trunk was full of colorful bags, both large and small. Her happy ending to a grueling day of shopping was treating herself to a foot massage, pedicure, and manicure. She was escorted out to the car wearing complimentary flip-flops, which she immediately tossed off and proceeded to plant her Sherwin-Williams tip piggies on the console between the front seats to continue the drying process. On the way up, she calls her husband's assistant and says, "Listen, sweetie, direct him to the pieces of jewelry I picked out for myself. Wait till you see them. They're gorgeous. I just love it. I get the jewelry and he gets the bill. Ciao, sweetie." She hangs up and volunteers to no one in particular. "I think he's fucking her. I'm almost sure of it. Sorry to hear that. Oh, honey, don't be. I always get what I need." I let that one go and focused on the road in front of me. We got to her house and I offered to take the bags inside for her. She accepted and added, "I wanted you to come in anyway so I can give you your tip." After all the bags are finally inside, she says, "Do you mind following me upstairs and carrying these 2 large bags for me, dear?" I followed her upstairs and we ended up in the master bedroom suite. She then says, "Okay, put the bags down over there. Turn around, put your hands behind your back, close your eyes, and don't open them till I say so." She then attempted to unbuckle my belt. Even though I was tempted, I stopped her, knowing this would turn into a world-class shitstorm for me, and got out of there like the place was on fire. As I'm making my way out of the bedroom, she says, "If you repeat this to anyone, you'll be pulling a rickshaw in China for the rest of your life." I get downstairs, and just as I'm walking out the front door, the husband is pulling up in front, waving to me, unbeknownst to what his darling wife had just attempted. Not exactly the Cleavers, Huxtables, or Better Homes and Gardens material here. What were they thinking? The one limo company had many major New York basketball players as clients. One player in particular was regularly ordering stretches for nights on the town. He'd invite his buddies, stay out all night club hopping, and throw cash around like it was confetti. The company made good money and got many referrals from this client, and the driver was guaranteed a $300 minimum tip every time. One night, the client calls, and the idiots dispatch a sedan. Tell me, how the hell do you fit 5 guys, the smallest being 6'9", into a friggin' sedan? A client was royally pissed, and that was the last they saw of him and his friend's business. Nice going, assholes. And tips and gratuities. Yes, Virginia, most limo companies include the gratuity in the total charge for the trip, but if the driver provided exceptional service or humped 1,500 pounds of luggage through 3 feet of snow while your lazy-ass kids remain glued to their phones, then throw the fucking guy a tip. Also, anything under $10 is an insult. And we're not cab drivers. A family man. I get a call to pick up a client down on Wall Street and take him home to Scarsdale. This run-of-the-mill suit in his late 40s comes out, jumps in the car, and says he has one stop to make. He tells me to go up the west side and then directs me from there. At the corner of 8th and 36, he tells me to stop. He gets out and walks around the corner. And 5 minutes later, he comes back with this not too beat up hooker. We get in the car and he tells me to drive around. As I'm driving, the hooker is going down on him. After a while, he stops her and says he wants to fuck her. That's gonna cost you more money, she says, and you got to wear a condom. I had a hard time not busting out laughing at that one. And the client says, yeah, so how much? The hooker says, $250. The suit agrees and they start going at it. She's bouncing up and down on this guy's lap and the car is riding like it has bad shocks. A good thing the car had tinted windows all around. I'd really hate to scare the kids. As she's doing him, she's holding on to the front seat headrest and looks over to me and says, driver, you want some of this? I tell her, not tonight, honey. Please, take care of my client. After he busts his nut, he tells me to pull over at the next corner. She puts herself back together, he pays her, tells her to get out, and then generously forks over cab fare. Romance. He then tells me to take him home and calls his wife to say he just got in the car and should be home soon. He picks up the paper and starts reading. Nothing is said between us for the rest of the trip. I pull up to the circular driveway in front of his house and his wife and kids are outside playing. His son runs up to him and says, Daddy, I'm glad you're home. How was your day? If they only knew. Was the driver deaf and blind? The driver gets to the client's home and backs into his driveway. He pops the trunk and checks his mirrors to see if the client is coming. The client comes out and waves to the driver as if to say, it's okay, I've got it, as he's putting his bags in the trunk and closing it. The client goes around to the right rear door, opens it, and realizes that he's forgotten something. He closes the door, starts walking back to the house, and the driver takes off without him. The client goes inside to retrieve what he forgot and calls the limo company. Hi, this is Mr. Jones. Your driver just pulled away from my house with my luggage in the car and left me behind. The dispatcher gets the driver on the radio, asks him where he is, and then says, hey, dipshit, make a U-turn and go back and get your fucking client. What a friggin' idiot. It's only sugar water. A driver I knew at a company that had Pepsi as a major account told me this one. He's driving a stretch and has to pick up a client coming in from Atlanta because the company doesn't want to piss off one of their best clients. The stretch is stocked with Pepsi and Aquafina. The driver picks up the client, and within 10 minutes, she's barking. The driver, stop this fucking car right now. The driver pulls the car over and asks her what's wrong. And she says, get this shit out of the car and get some Coke products in here now, or you're not getting paid for this trip. He stops as soon as he sees an opportunity and stocks the stretch with Coke products. Poor bastard. How was he supposed to know she worked for Coke? The things you don't say, number 1. When we're going along at a pretty good clip, please refrain from saying, wow, we're making great time. As soon as the last syllable is out of your mouth, over the next hill or around the next turn, there's bound to be a wall of stopped traffic ahead of us. Do me a favor, don't jinx it. If you want to comment on the traffic, do it in between handing me a bushel of 50s and getting your ass out of the car. The things you don't say, number 2. A driver picked up a client's wife on a warm, sunny day. She was dressed in a low-cut blouse, a short skirt, and open-toed shoes. The driver was standing at the right rear door, holding it open for her when he said, "Ma'am, I must say you have gorgeous feet." And she thanked him, and nothing more was said for the rest of the trip. The driver came back into the office, and the general manager asked him how his day went. He then asked the driver if he said anything to Mrs. Manolo Blahnik. "Oh yeah, I told her she had gorgeous feet. Man, you should have seen them." GM smiled and said, "Nice going, asshole. You're fired." The things you don't say, number 3. The driver was at LaGuardia waiting on an incoming client. He was standing exactly where he was supposed to be. And this is how it went. "Where the hell are you? The client is looking for you. I'm right here in the terminal. And tell me exactly where the fuck you are. And tell me where the fucking client is." The female suit with a cell phone glued to her head comes walking over to him and says, "I'm the fucking client now. Let's get the hell out of here." This little slice of life is brought to you by any airline that arbitrarily changes gate assignments without warning and makes drivers look incompetent. The things you don't say, number 4. If you see me or any other driver waiting for a client at the airport and you're not them, don't fuck with us by saying that's me and walk away laughing. Next time somebody says that to me, I'm going to take them on the ride of their life and drop them so far from civilization they'll never come back. The things you don't say, number 5. There were thunderstorms with drenching rains, disrupting air traffic up and down the East Coast. I was originally scheduled to pick up a client coming into Newark Airport at 8:30 p.m. The client knew a driver was waiting for him, so he called the reservations desk to provide them with updates as the night progressed. His flight finally came in over 3 hours later. What was the last thing the reservations said to him? "Thanks for keeping us updated?" No, nothing like that. In fact, they said, "I'm sorry, sir. Based on the weather, we can't guarantee that we'll have a car waiting for you." I was assigned sitting and waiting for him for over 3 hours. And when I picked him up, he was more concerned about me being stuck there rather than his delay. And I told him that they were going to bang him an extra $130 for waiting time, and he flipped out. The client then asked me when I was going to get paid for the trip. I told him payroll's on Friday. He said on the following Monday, he was going to call and contest the charges. But thanks, buddy. How'd you like those stories? If you did, please comment, subscribe, and spread the word. I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, take care and have a good one.
This podcast is a production of Testa40 Studios, and no content may be repurposed without express written consent.